Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to review of Under Reprisal, the debut record by the band Signal. Today we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the release, decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band is quite simple. Back in 2008 I've stumbled upon their music because Fear Factory's bassist and also guitarist for two records, Christian Old Walbers, was the producer for this record. And at the time I was doing deep dive into his musical endeavors. So 18 years ago I've listened through this record and I've been a fan of this band ever since. The lineup on this release is John Howard doing the vocals and the lyrics, then his cousin Rich Howard doing the guitars and backing vocals, second guitarist Kyle McKnight also here. Both him and Rich wrote all of the songs on this release. Next we've got Marco on the bass and George on the drums. A fun fact for you, after this release everyone except the vocalist quit the band, which is not a good thing and it will have consequences in the future for the band. What I'm trying to say is that each new iteration of Signal tries to record a new album similar to Under Reprisal, but they always fail, because the songwriters are just different. Besides those five guys, we also have Dave providing some keyboards and the producer, and Fear Factory's bassist Christian Old Walbers doing keyboards and backing vocals on almost every track. The production is tight, it's clean but heavy, no noise, no clipping, just the way I like it. It sounds perfect even to this very day. Message is diverse, the songs are mostly about society, oppression, but also personal struggles, etc. I urge you to read them by yourself. Structure of the songs is between basic and advanced. Usually we've got an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, which consists from 2 to 4 different segments, and then the chorus and the outro. Sometimes it's slightly different, where the bridge is more developed and we don't get a third chorus but we go to a new thing and then the song ends. It depends. When it comes to the music genre on this release, if you look it up on the internet you're going to find out this is a metalcore album, which is actually false. Calling this metalcore is like calling Meshuggah Chaosphere a metalcore release. It's just false, it's not true. Under Reprisal sounds like a weird mix between 90s Meshuggah, Fear Factory, At the Gates, and also Linkin Park, the old Linkin Park. So if I had to mention any genres associated with this release, that would be groove metal, industrial metal, melodic death metal, and some small bits of nu metal thrown in. This stupid lie was passed on by people because a lot of bands from 2003 to 2006 were experimenting with their style, creating a weird amalgamation of groove metal, heavy metal, death metal, etc. And because metalcore was popular at the time because of Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine, Killswitch Engage, etc., a lot of bands that did not play metalcore at the time like Chimera, Bleed the Sky and Signal here got lumped into that genre, which is quite weird because they do not sound like metalcore at all. Just because you have a breakdown or a groove, it doesn't mean it's a metalcore release. Because if that was true, almost every single band on the earth would be metalcore, Korn, Suffocation, etc. Now let's talk about the performance on the record. Let's start with the band's drummer. His playing is phenomenal. I love his double bass work, his grooves, the style, the precision of his playing, the speed, it's all here, it's intense. Next we've got the bass work. It's not that audible and it mostly follows the guitars. The guitar work by both Rich and Kyle is not something to be taken lightly. We have some fantastic, beautiful and one-of-a-kind sounding guitar solos on this release. Some crunchy, heavy, fast tremolo riffs mixed with those more groovier parts, the boing boing sound, it's all here. Some great hooks here and there. Overall, the guitar work on this release is perfect. We also have some keyboard and electronic elements and they do enrich the sound of the release, even if there isn't much of them. Last but not least, let's mention John's vocals, and his screaming, shouting, yelling, growling is on point. I love the intensity and aggression in his voice. When it comes to his singing, he sounds very similar to Chester Bennington of Linkin Park, rest in peace. And for some people that's detrimental, and for others like me, I actually do enjoy his singing. It doesn't sound forced, instead it sounds nostalgic and smooth. Now we can finally rate the individual songs. The album opens up with Rational Eyes, the most recognizable song from Fred Signal, and this one is a banger from the intro alone. That groove, I just love it. The crunchiness of the verses, the cool and beautiful sounding chorus. This song has everything and it's perfect in my eyes, 10 out of 10. As I Destruct is even better. This song sonically is very similar to the previous one, but there's one thing that's different, and that's the guitar solo in the bridge. It's so one of a kind and beautiful. It brings a tear to my eye how good that guitar solo is. I always want to hear it. 10 plus out of 10. One Last Breath raises the bar once more. This time it's because of the vocal performance. All of the vocals here just slap. While the instrumental work is interesting from beginning to the end and just sounds so good, the transitions hit perfectly, but that chorus is just so good. I love this song, 11 minus out of 10. Seeing Red sadly isn't as good as the previous two songs, but it's still a masterpiece. There isn't any section here that I wouldn't enjoy. Yet again, the sound of the song is very similar to the previous ones. That could be your only complaint about this release, that the songs are similar to each other. But because I enjoy every single song, that's not a problem for me. It's actually a positive thing, 10 out of 10. A New Beginning, sadly, to me personally, it's the weakest song here. I feel like it's a little bit too melodic for my taste. I still do enjoy it, especially the solo in the bridge section. It's just a good song that could have been better. If this one was removed from the release, I wouldn't share a tear for it, to be quite honest. 7 out of 10. Counterbalance, this one has great groove in the beginning. That's fantastic, and also the guitar solo and the vocals. But the chorus, it doesn't grab me that much as every other chorus on this release, 9 out of 10. Inane, this one is very heavy for the first 2 minutes, but then we get to the bridge section, which is actually fabulous. I love the melodies here. How somber and nostalgic they sound like. Even to this day, I love that segment, I repeat it all the time, 10 plus out of 10. Now is a song that sounds kinda like a filler, but it's a banger, because you enjoy every single segment here. Yet again, the harsh parts are great, the singing fantastic, just everything is perfect, 10 out of 10. Faceless is my favorite Fred Signal song. I love the tremolo guitar riffs, the beginning of the song, the intro, it sounds like swarm of locusts. All of that stuff, the drumming. The vocal performance is off the charts, the screaming, no reason why, punish the weak, to release all the hate inside. Love that, the breakdowns, just everything. And that cool break section in the middle. Great stuff. 11 out of 10. Haunting, I feel like this song could have been a little bit better. It's almost perfect, I do enjoy every single section, but yet again, it kinda sounds like a filler track. 9 plus out of 10. And the final song, When All Is Said and Done, this one has more of that grandeur style, you know that the end is near. Fantastic keyboard elements, love the guitar riff, so crunchy, so juicy, so memorable. The breakdowns yet again hit as well. Yeah, it's a fitting end to this release, 10 out of 10. All of the songs on Under Reprisal except Now were already written and recorded in 2004 for the demo. The demo was recently in 2024 released for the people to hear. The quality isn't that great, but you can actually hear that all of the songs actually existed in 2004 except Now. And for some reason one of those songs, Guttersnipe, was not re-recorded for Under Reprisal, and I don't understand why. Maybe it was too heavy because it doesn't have any clean singing? But to me this isn't a problem, because the entire thing slaps, especially the second part of the song, the last 2 minutes, so fun to listen to. The breakdowns, the evil sounding, eerie melodies of the guitars in the background, it's all here and it works wonderfully. This track should have been on the record instead of A New Beginning. That's for sure. 10 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable, the flow is fitting gravity. Yeah, this is a masterpiece. I love this record from beginning to the end. It's easily the best thing Fred Signal ever released. Fantastic production by Christian Odd-Wolbers, perfect vocal performance from John Howard, songwriting by both Rich Howard and Kyle McKnight is off the charts, and the drumming is phenomenal. I wish this lineup would survive and make another release, but sadly life had different things in store for them. A fun fact for you before I depart, some of the songs on the second record were actually written by this lineup, so they were probably demoed on Under Reprisal but weren't finished. They're quite interesting to hear, so you can still check out the second album as well. Since the release of Under Reprisal, Fred Signal has went out to create some good records, and I do enjoy every release from them, but none are as fun as this one, sadly. The highlights of this release for me are obviously One Last Breath, Faceless, When All Is Said and Done, As I Destruct, Inane, Seeing Red, Rational Eyes, and the B-side Guttersnipe, which is just so much fun. Celebrate the release of this release, it deserves your relevant attention. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, follow me on my Instagram in the description, especially since I do own this CD and I posted it on my socials, so you can check it out how the limited edition looks like. Shout out all my Patreon supporters who graciously sponsor these videos, you're usually wonderful. You can join them if you want so I can make an album review, do MIDI cover, rig video of your choice. See you next time, bye!